You're watching Good Morning Washington.
Today we are addressing how to deal with that feeling of burnout at work. Here to help guide us is author, Army veteran, and clinical psychologist Dr. Dan Pelton. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
It's perfect timing because Forbes has this new study that shows burnout within U.S. employees is up 66%. Is this something that can be reversed, or are you burnt out and you got to quit your job?
It can be reversed, yeah. So there are things you can do individually. Maybe I'll go through those really quickly. The first thing is baseline self-assessment. So Psychology Today actually has one of the best assessments you can take, and you can figure out where you fall on that bell curve. So that's the first thing you can do. And then there's very, very small things you can do daily. And this doesn't just apply to the workforce, it's to everybody. It's called the Pomodoro technique. It's Italian. So every 25 minutes, you take a 5-minute break.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. I know it's like mind-blowing, but there's a lot of science behind it. Microsoft did a study, and they found people who did this were more attentive, were more effective, when they simply literally set a timer and took 5 minutes to go outside or do something other than your computer or your phone.
Yeah, because when you take a 5-minute break and people scroll, you might end up on that email app.
Yeah.
Then you're back into work, or then you're doom scrolling and you're out of it for way more than 5 minutes.
Right, yeah, exactly. It sucks you in, and technology, all of the benefits that it has, what we run into is something called context shifting. I don't know if you've ever felt that feeling. You go home and you're like, what on earth did I do today? Because we shift so many times, and it actually leads to a 10-point drop in IQ when we context shift so much.
Oh my
so
goodness.
Get off our phones, get off our computers, and take that 5-minute break.
And what about the responsibility of some of these leaders in the workplace? How can they spot it and help their employees before they bring it to them? Because usually they're coming to you with burnout when they've had enough, when they're at that limit.
Yeah, exactly. Usually it's too late. So they can spot it early by really probing managers to get a sort of a pulse at what's going on at team level. I have managers actually ask questions about drivers of burnout, literally to their team, about what's our workload, what's our sense of community, what's our fairness. There's a bunch that I would ask to the team. And I have done that before, and I thought workload was the issue. It's totally wrong. It was something else.
Really?
So really, yeah, like probing specific drivers of burnout in the workforce.
And how often should we be surveying ourselves to make sure we're not dealing with burnout? Because you think nowadays, I mean, even with the state of how the world is, people have multiple jobs. So they might be feeling okay at one and then not the other, and vice versa.
Yeah, and it's a balance. It's a give and take. I mean, there is a reality of we can burn ourselves out just by how we design our lives. So monitoring that a little bit. Part of it is, we have a culture of overwork as well, and so we need to police ourselves a little bit and say, are there things small things I could cut out of my life?
Yeah.
Because all of that context shifting, as I said, is not good for us.
Yeah. And asking for help, even if it's outside of the workplace. I know a lot of stay-at-home moms are working harder than people can ever imagine. I want to talk about your book, Rethinking Employee Resilience. What do you want people to take away from this?
I'll put it bluntly. This is not a traditional self-help book. There's plenty out there. I don't have 26 steps to bring enlightenment. This is about how do we design culture? How do we do it from the ground up as well? So organizations often look like a pyramid. So how does that person, the 21-year-old college graduate, how do they leverage their influence to change the culture of an organization? So it's for CEOs, and it's for the most junior employee. It's for everybody.
Thank you so much, Dan, because I know so many people are watching this and going through burnout. They can pick up a copy of your book and get in touch with you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.
For sure.